Hello little friends. Today, we will step into a beautiful fairy tale about Father Rong and Mother Tien. This is the origin of our Vietnamese people. The story is called Con Rong Chau Tien. Let's open the magical door to meet Father Rong and Mother Tien. Once upon a time, around 4 or 5,000 years ago, King Duong Vong married Long Nu, the daughter of the god of Dong Din Ho. They had a son named Sun Lam, who later became Lac Long Quan. Lac Long Quan carried the blood of the dragon god, so he was very strong and loved swimming in the water. Lac Long Quan inherited his father's legacy and ruled the land of Lac Viet. At that time, Lac Viet was still wild, covered in dense forests, and haunted by demons that harmed the people. In the eastern sea, there was a giant ancient fish called Ngu Tin. Ngu Tin often opened its huge mouth and swallowed entire fishing boats along with the people. The people were terrified and no longer dared to go out to sea to fish. Hearing this, Lac Long Quan immediately boarded a great boat and set out into the vast ocean. Lac Long Quan sailed off, searching for a way to defeat Ngu Tin. When he encountered the wicked fish, he threw his mighty trident straight into its mouth. Ngu Tin writhed in agony, thrashing and splashing waves of white foam across the sea. Lac Long Quan used his enchanted sword to unleash a beam of light that struck Ngu Tin's head, causing it to vanish. Afterward, Lac Long Quan traveled to Long Bien, a land filled with rolling hills and mountains. There, he encountered a nine-tailed fox named Ho Tin. At night, Ho Tin would creep out of its cave to snatch children away and devour them. Lac Long Quan used 5 colored threads to weave a magical rope. He placed the rope at the cave entrance and waited for Ho Tin's return. As soon as the fox appeared, the rope instantly wrapped tightly around its neck. Ho Tin struggled fiercely but could not break free and was ultimately subdued. From Long Bien, Lac Long Quan journeyed to Phong Chau, a land shaded by lush green trees. There, he found a giant pine tree that had lived for over 1,000 years, known as Moc Tin. At night, Moc Tin would transform into a human, wreaking havoc on villages and stealing cattle and poultry. Lac Long Quan took his divine axe and struck the tree with great force. The tree trembled, Moc Tin vanished, and the villagers found peace once more. After eliminating the 3 monstrous creatures, Lac Long Quan taught the people how to grow sticky rice on terraced fields. When the rice ripened, the people harvested it and pounded it into grains. The rice was placed into bamboo tubes, mixed with herbal leaves and water, and sealed with banana leaves. The bamboo tubes were roasted over a glowing fire. After some time, the rice inside became fragrant and delicious. This dish was called Cam Lam. Lac Long Quan also taught the people how to fish by painting images of fierce creatures on their boats. Every boat had 2 large eyes drawn on its bow. Lac Long Quan said, "When sailing the sea, the boat is like a great beast, scaring away evil spirits so they do not dare to come near." Thanks to him, people everywhere learned how to farm and fish to sustain their lives. At that time, King Galai traveled south from the northern lands, bringing his daughter Oko on a journey. When Oko and Long Quan met, they felt a deep affection for each other. Then, the wedding of Lac Long Quan and Oko took place amid the joyous sound of festival drums. The people rejoiced, singing and dancing in celebration for 3 days and 3 nights. A year later, Oko became pregnant, and when the time came to give birth. Surprisingly, Oko gave birth to a large round sack. The sack grew bigger and bigger for 7 days. On the 7th day, the sack split open, revealing 100 sparkling eggs. Each egg hatched into a beautiful and healthy baby. The babies immediately ran to their parents, happily chirping around the house. Lac Long Quan ruled the land and raised the children with Oko until they grew up. One day, Lac Long Quan returned and said, "I am of the dragon lineage, accustomed to living in the water. You are of the fairy kind, meant to live on land. Now that our children have grown, you shall take 50 to the mountains, and I will take 50 to the sea. We will divide our paths to teach the people and rule the land." From then on, half of the children followed Mother Oko to the forests, clearing land and building a new life. The other half followed their father to the sea, fishing and settling down. The eldest son remained in Phong Chau, continuing his father's legacy as Hung Von. It was the beginning of the Bac Viet tribes, the ancestors of our Vietnam. Lessons learned. The story Con Rong Chau Tien not only tells about the origin of our Vietnamese people but also contains many valuable lessons. Father of the nation Lac Long Quan was strong and brave, always devoted to helping the people eliminate monsters and bringing a peaceful life to everyone. Mother of the nation Oko was a kind and loving mother who cared for her children and took care of her family. The two of them belonged to different worlds. One lived in the water, and the other on land. But they still thought of their children and shared the responsibility of raising them fairly. Through this story, we learn that we must live with love and unity. We must be grateful to our ancestors and cherish our roots. And we must always strive to do good and help those around us, just like Father Rome did. So the story about the origin of our Vietnamese people has come to an end. We Vietnamese are always proud to be the descendants of Father Rome and Mother Tien, so always live diligently, sincerely, and bravely. Thank you, little friends, for listening. See you again in the next fairy tales.